Happy time zones, everyone, and welcome to Daily Devotions with Beez. I'm your host, Beez the Chaplain. I just want to double check that everything's working okay. I'll just wait a bit, and I'll wait for a few people to join, because at the moment I think since it's a Monday morning, everyone's decided to have a bit of a sleep in. But hey, the first person to jump on. Okay, we got Aaron, Nathaniel, and Lisa on Instagram. Good morning to you all. And then we have Warden of the Sands. Hey, my brother, good morning. Good morning. We are here and on time. Oh, that's awesome, man. And I guess you're having a happy Sunday afternoon, maybe Sunday evening. Good to have you on. Good morning, Mum, on Facebook. And good morning, Karen, a.k.a. Wifey, a.k.a. Kazdog, a.k.a. Babe. Babe, on YouTube. I hope everyone's off to a great start to Monday. Look, confession time. I'm a bit tired. Well, it seemed like my internet it wasn't my internet. Like my Instagram paused. Anyway, good morning, Elizabeth, and good morning, Mum, on Instagram as well. Hey, could you tell Dad? I'm waiting for him to tell me that if the sound's good or not. I'm enjoying my evening, but my car was stolen. Don't worry about it though. Oh man, that's rough. I'm sorry to hear it, man. But hey, if you're not gonna worry, you're good, man. It seems like you're all right. You're okay, and that's awesome. And I'm glad that you're here. Bullet Attractor, how you doing? Hey, I was just reading the comments. I was just reading the chat. Also, good morning, Mac. It was great to see you and the family at Wollongong on Saturday. I had an amazing time. Like on Friday and Saturday, it was so much fun. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed First Church, and also I really also enjoyed preaching at Wollongong Church on the Saturday as well. It was really good, and to see all the youth there. Really, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to becoming an Illawarrior. See, that's the thing. On Friday night we had a bit of not an argument. We had a bit of a conversation about what do we call people down in the Illawarra Wollongong district, and I was like, hey, if no one comes up with anything, I'm going to call us Gongites. And then the whole church was like, no, we ain't calling ourselves Gongites, man. That's not right. But we ended up either being Illawarriors or Illawarrians. Not too sure, but yeah, that's the general consensus. But I'm going to keep on slipping in Gongites to see if it's ever going to stick. And also, Lisa, hey, you just bought yourself a car. Hey, congratulations. Drive safe. Be safe on the roads. It's pretty, I'm glad for you, but yeah, be safe on the road. I'm headed out of Sydney, and I'm kind of happy about that, because I get really moved, emotionally driven by the traffic in Sydney. So I think God was like, yeah, we got to take a bit of time outside of Sydney for you, man. But yeah, okay, we're going to get started. So thank you all for joining, and good morning. For you to, if you join on afterwards, I'll say my hellos after the devotion. But yeah, let's get into it. The title of today's devotion is Canaanite Woman Faith. Canaanite Woman Faith. Now I'm going to read a story, and if my nose starts to run, I apologize. Sometimes when I don't have enough sleep and stuff, I get really congested in the morning. So yeah, if my nose is running and stuff, please just turn off the camera. Turn off the camera. Just don't look at the phone, or don't look at the screen. All right, we're gonna go to Matthew chapter 15. So topic of today's devotion is Canaanite women faith, or Canaanite woman faith, and the passage is found in Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 to 28, and I'll read it. It says, leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that city from that vicinity came to him crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon possessed and suffering terribly. Jesus did not answer a word. So his disciples came to him and urged him, send her away for she keeps crying out after us. He answered, I was sent only to the lost. He answered, I was only. Oh, wow. I just discovered this, right? So he's not just talking to his disciples, he's talking to her. I'm going to start that again. So the woman comes, a Canaanite woman from the vicinity came to him crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon possessed and suffering terribly. Jesus did not answer a word. So his disciples came to him and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying out after us. He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel. The woman came and knelt before him. Lord, help me, please. She said. He replied, it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. And then she answered, yes, it is. Yes, it is, Lord. Even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from the master's table. Then Jesus said to her, Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter was healed at that moment. I was really uncomfortable when I was reading this passage, because I was like, hey, Jesus, that's not nice. To be honest with you, I was kind of like, when you get really uncomfortable when you read a passage, because you think, okay, because you got this picture of Jesus, you got this picture of God in your head, right? And then all of a sudden there's a dialogue, right? And then you're like, well, that doesn't sound like Jesus. That doesn't sound like the loving, compassionate, merciful, that it doesn't sound like that kind of Jesus. So I was really challenged by that, and I was a bit uncomfortable. So I do what I do. One, I prayed about it, and then two, I went to the commentaries. Like I went to Enduring Word. Enduring Word is really good. And I went to the commentaries to kind of break it up to say, okay, what exactly did it mean by that? Because I was still like, that's not nice. Because the first thing you read is, Jesus. It seems like Jesus has a priority of the agenda, and he's like, I've gone to seek. It's not just I've gone to seek and save the lost, but at the moment, at that point in time, it's I've gone to seek and save the lost of children of Israel, or the lost in Israel, or the Israelites, like the children of the descendants of Israel. Those people, pardon me, I've come and seek and save the lost there. And then I also know, like, Jesus to be like the God that tests, the God that, he's all knowing, and he's all powerful, and he's like, and so for me, it's like, does he look ahead in advance and say, I know that, this is what it's going to pan out, or this is what she's going to do, or this is what she's hoping to achieve, and it's going to work anyway. So I'm going to test her on this, so I can use this as an example to others, so I can use this as an example to Beez, like 2,000 plus years later on. And I think that's what it was about, just using this as an example, having this dialogue intentionally stretched out, so Beez 2,000 years plus can say, this is what it means in regards to persistence, persistence in faith. And it was really powerful, because at the end of the day, something like the gem that hit me really is like, okay, this is what, let me just get on with it, right? So the dialogue, I went to the commentaries and I was like, that's pretty rude. Actually, it's not rude. I'm not saying it's not rude, but the way that Jesus responded to her, it was like the way a Jew would generically respond to that type of person, the person from Canaan and Sidon, like, you're not one of us kind of thing. But also, it says in the commentary, it didn't say just dogs as a derogatory term, but it says, but he softened it by saying pup, right? So all of a sudden, it's like not this, and also it's saying you're feeding the dogs or you're feeding the pups, the things from the children. And what he's also saying, and the commentary kind of breaks it up even more, where it says he's not talking about, street dogs, like those, the ones that look mangy and stuff like that. No, it's talking about, a pup. He's talking about a household domesticated dog, a pet, a family companion, right? And then I think about the way that I see Luna. Luna is part of my family. Like Luna's my dog, Chunleo. She's part of my family, and I love my dog, right? But at the way he's describing it, he softens the blow. So he's not saying it as a derogatory thing. He's just kind of saying there's a priority, there's a hierarchy, there's a ranking in regards to the order in which my mission needs to be accomplished. And yet she responds and says, yeah, but even the dogs, even Chunleo needs to get fed. And I can just imagine, and a picture, when I'm eating at the table, like, Chunleo's a rescue, right? Oh well, she was an abandoned dog, and we got her from the pound, or from Sydney Dog and Cat Home, and it took us ages. It took Chunleo ages for her to trust us, right? And one of the things that I remember is that when I'm sitting at the dinner table, like she'll come and rest her head on my leg, right? And I don't remember. Like there were times where she wouldn't even touch me. Like we would be on opposite ends of the house because she was so afraid of me. In the first day she got to me, she came home, and there'll be times where she would distance herself because she'd have trouble trusting me. But like I picture her now, and like when I'm eating at the table, she'll come and she'll just rest her head in desperate need of saying, I want you to feed me. I want you to give me whatever you have. And then, of course, I'll sneak her a few treats. And the way that I picture it in my relationship, the way that I see God in this woman, or Christ in this woman, I see myself in Chunleo, right? And just the way that she looks, and she's like, I'll take whatever you have. But I also like how she says, yeah, and this is the thing, she responds to Jesus, right? And it's a response where it's like, it's a rebuttal. Jesus is already, he's ignored her, right? Then it's not until the disciples are like, hey, just send her out, just send her away, that he responds to them and her. And that should be the end of the story. But she's persistent. She's like, yeah, well, even the dogs need the crumbs. Like, I will even be Chunleo because my daughter is in need of you. And that's what I think is the most powerful part of this devotion. And I think this is the most powerful thing about, the most powerful part about the story. And it's this. She went to Jesus and claimed a promise in faith, irrespective of what she thought he thought of her, or irrespective of, how he might be feeling. She said, no, I know you're God, and I know you can heal my daughter. So irrespective of how you feel about me, I'm going to claim who you are, and you are the one that's going to heal my daughter. And for me, I feel that that's the test. That Jesus was saying, are you going to still have faith in me? Are you going to claim my promises irrespective of how you think I feel towards you? And then I thought about so many times in my life that I thought, I can't go and claim the promise of forgiveness from my Heavenly Father because of what I've done. And that's where it's the first point I want to make. And this sounds like, I hope this message is going to get through, but it sounds so janky right now. But the first thing I want to say is claiming the character of God always, right? God is love. And for me, knowing that God is love, mercy, compassion, grace, forgiveness, that's who God is. That's what I believe, that God is love. If I go to God and I doubt that because of what I've done, that's crippling me. That's my problem. Because God is saying, I want you to rely on me, pray to me, and trust that I am love, and I will answer your prayers if you believe in me, right? But I need you to have faith. I need you to walk in that faith, irrespective of what you think I might be feeling towards you, right? Because sometimes when we sin, when we stumble, when we fall, right? And when we mess up, we're like, oh, how can I possibly go to God and ask him for anything in prayer after what I did? And he's saying, you're missing the point. Look at the woman, the faith of the Canaanite woman, right? I said to her, hey, I've got a priority here. And she was like, yeah, but I still need this. And what I love about that is, irrespective of the feelings that she thought he might have towards her, she still claimed her promise in him. She was like, I don't care. You're still God. You're still love. My daughter still needs healing. You're the healer. Heal my daughter. And for me, and I love that there are so many times. There aren't so many times. There's only a few times that happens in the entire gospel, right? Where Jesus is astonished by faith. And what's cool about it is it's not his own people, right? It's not the Israelites. It's not the Jewish community. This woman's the Canaanite woman. And then the centurion comes to him and says, Lord, I'm not worthy to receive you under my roof, but only say the word and your servant shall be healed. Or my servant, the Jew that's under my roof, your servant shall be healed. And then Jesus is astonished and he says, nowhere in Israel have I seen such faith as this man. And it's basically saying, I'm going to claim the promise in you on who you are, irrespective of who you think I am or how you feel towards me, because I'm going to claim your promise, right? Because if you're a God of all loving, all compassion, all mercy, all grace, I'm going to go to that. Even though I might be feeling a bit off, even though the centurion goes, Lord, I'm not worthy to receive you. Even though in that space of unworthiness, it wasn't about the unworthiness, because he's like, I'm going to claim and bank everything on who you are. So I'm going to claim that promise. And this woman is like, yeah, okay, you want to call me a little pup instead of one of your children. Okay, cool. But even your pup needs crumbs. So I'm going to claim that. Because why? Because you are all loving, all merciful, all compassionate, all graceful. So irrespective of if I feel unworthy, if I've messed up, it doesn't matter, because I know who you are and what you can do. And then, so that's what I was like, wow. How many times have I crippled myself from forgiveness or seeking God for healing, seeking God for all of this, because I thought, I can't approach him because of what I did. It's not about let's go to the next one. It's not about what you do, but it's about who he is, right? It's not about what you've done, how you've messed up. It's about who he is. And that's what I love about it, because God is saying, hey, it's not about this feels. Don't get wrapped up in the feels. Don't get wrapped up in the feeling of, oh, am I worthy? Am I not? Am I like, will he do this because yesterday I messed up? Or how long am I going to wait? How much am I going to have to do? Or how much am I going to work? So I then can go up to God and pray to him and ask for it. Nah. God is saying, you have to know who I am first, and then claim that promise in who I am, irrespective of how you feel, right? And how you think I might be feeling towards you. Because and I'm going to use this phrase, like, one of my pastors, Pastor Richard Young, he says the enemy of my soul. And I like the way that sounds, right? And it's like, the enemy of my soul will always try and put doubt in my mind. The enemy of my soul will always try and tear me away and think and make me believe that I'm not loved and that I can't claim the promises in God because of what I do, right? The enemy of my soul tells me that I'm only able to pray to God and seek out, forgiveness, healing, and all of that from him only if I do, or only if I am. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got absolutely nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with who God is and the promises that he says that he will keep because of who he is, irrespective of what we do. And a lot of people are feeling really uncomfortable right now because it's like, oh no, you can't say that, Beez, because right? The criminal on the cross, there's every reason why he's on the cross. And he says to his other mate who's on the cross with him, don't say anything about this guy. This guy's done like, we've deserved to be up on this cross. This man's done nothing wrong. And even in that, he goes to Jesus and says, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And what I love about Jesus is, like, he's not looking to him saying, ooh, but you're on this cross, buddy. Like, there's a reason why you're on this cross. So you don't have any right. And it's like, but irrespective of right or not, he's still saying, remember me when you come into this kingdom. And Jesus says to this man, irrespective of whether he's on the cross or not, or whether he's worthy to be on this cross or not, he deserves to be on the cross. Jesus says, today you will be with me in paradise. It's not because of what he did, but it's because who Jesus Christ did. It's because of who Jesus Christ is and what he came to do. And so for me, the final thing I want to say, there'll never be a good time. It's always a good time, right? It's always good. It's always a good time because that's the character of God. When it's on us and what we do, right, on how we feel or how we might be thinking God is feeling towards us, there'll never be a good time, right? But with God, it's always a good time. It's always a perfect time. Why? Because it's who he is. I'm an omnibenevolent, all caring, all compassionate, all loving God. Every time is a good time because I'm unchanging in that. I'm unchanging in my character. I'm unchanging in my ability to keep my promises. I'm unchanging. So any time is a good time. But if you bank on how you feel or how you think God feels towards you to go and ask him in prayer, it'll never be a good time. So as we close, man, let's have faith like the Canaanite woman. Let us be persistent, not in the thing of going to God, but claiming the promises irrespective of how we think he feels towards us. Because the enemy of our soul will continue to try and gaslight us and think, no, now's not a good time because of the sins you've done or the ways you've messed up or who you are and how disconnected you are from God or, that you're far from God. No, we're children of God. Let's walk in the reality of being children of God. Go to God and claim the promises of who he is in what he does for us. Because for me, that's the power. That's the transforming power there. We're claiming promises in who he is, not because of what we've done and not because of the feelings that we have or the feelings that we have that we think he might be feeling towards us. It's got nothing to do with that. Christ is saying in all circumstances, I am your healer, I am your provider, I am your sustainer, I am your comforter in all circumstances. And that's who I am, that's my character. Irrespective of, what you think I'm feeling towards you. That's what I wanted to share. That's the thing that blew my mind today, because there have been so many times in my former, like my dead self in my past, that I've thought I can't approach God. I can't ask him for this. I can't ask him for healing. I can't ask him for forgiveness because I think he's angry at me. Oh, I think he might be disappointed in me. Or I think he might be hurt by what I've done or what I've said. It's not about me and what I do, but it's about him and who he is and what he does for me. So I pray that if you're struggling with that thought, hey, come, let's reach out to me. We can talk about it more. Because when I read this story, it blew my mind this morning. Because I was like, why would he say that? Why would he say that to her? And it's because he was saying, he wanted to stretch it out, to teach me a lesson, to say it's got nothing to do with how I might be thinking he feels towards me. Because in my doubt, in my unworthiness, no, I'm his child. I'm his child, and I claim the promises in his name because of who he is. I'm going to close in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, I don't know how that message was delivered. Oh man, but I just pray that the Spirit just moves and transforms those words so people can sift out and not focus on my delivery, but focus on the words that you were speaking into their hearts. Words that remind them that it's not about what they might be feeling or what they might think that you're feeling towards them, but it's all about who you are and your character. And then believing that you are the Almighty Creator, that you are the sustainer, you are the loving Father, that you are the protector, that you are the healer, that you are the comforter, and that all the promises and all the blessings that you have in store for us, that you will give us freely if only we ask, irrespective of what circumstances we might be in and the feelings we might be having. So Lord, I pray that you remind us of that each and every day so we can boldly come before you and ask in prayer and claim the promises that you have for us. So you be with us now. I ask this all in your loving name. Amen. Man, I just hope that, that God just uses those words and allows the Spirit to, to make that message hit home. because I was so excited to deliver this message, deliver this devotion this morning. And I felt I just maggoted the whole thing, because it was like, it's that idea that your mind is racing and your mouth isn't catching up, or vice versa. Maybe it's because of the sleep, but like, yeah. All right, let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments section. Hey, by the way, Deviant, good to have you. Hey, bro, I was gonna message you. We're relocating. Friday, our stuff's gonna be packed. Next week, we're in the house. So let's tee up a time whenever you're good. Yeah, I need your help. I need help setting up the studio. So thank you in advance. Thank you in advance for helping a buddy out. So thank you. Just want to say a couple more good mornings. Good morning, Deviant. Good morning, Aolani 95. Welcome to the Daily Devotions. I hope you had a good one. I'm just going to quickly go down. I'm just reading some comments. So the first one is, also Felix, good morning. Good morning, Florentina, and good morning, Jay. Hope you're doing well. Say hello to the family. Yeah, good to have you on. And Mac, have a great day. Thanks for joining the Daily Devotion. So, okay, I think in today's times, the kind of strong, I don't care faith is displayed more strongly in us when the world is in opposition of us, or when Satan is trying even harder to convince us internally that we are not worthy to be healed or helped. It's not different from the times back then in the Bible, so I don't know why I said that. No, it's for me, it's the same. And that's why I got for me, I think it's one of those ones where the reason why the Canaanite woman story is in the Bible in the way that it's written that way, right? The way that Jesus kind of drags it out and kind of says, okay, not this way is, he's not saying no, but he's saying, I'm going to see how far she's willing to take this to show us, like to show the people who's living in 2023 that this is how it's done. It's not about the fields, but it's about claiming the promises because of who he is. That was it. I ended up taking half an hour just saying that from what your comment was. Oh man. All right. Oh, Oz Indo. Salamat pagi, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope you're received. No, I know that you received a blessing from the word today. Oz Indo, I'm going to read this message. It says, Matthew 15:21 shares how God's salvation plan is unlimited. Although the gospel is primarily for the Jews, it is also for the Gentiles. Through the confession of sins and belief in the saving work of God's Son, Jesus Christ, both Jew and Gentile receive the gift of salvation. 100%. 100%. It's not like, for me, salvation is the part of the entire package. It's like being able to live this abundant life, living in perfection. And what I mean by perfection, it's living in full fulfillment and fullness in Christ now, not waiting for the second coming, but receiving all of that now and being able to live out that now. So yeah, 100%. Karen, being God's child is everything. Identifying yourself as such is life-changing and is the best place to be always. Amen. And that's our identity. We're God's children. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to bounce. Thank you so much for joining me once again for a daily devotion, starting on, starting the week on a Monday. For everyone else who's overseas, we live in the future. Just wanting to give you a heads up. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing another daily devotion. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, I might be changing location because I'm going to a conference, but I'm going to try and continue to do the daily devotions. But we'll see how we go. I will see you tomorrow for another daily devotion. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed, peace out, much love, and remember, you're unapologetically royal. Peace.